Welcome Reds. Patrick Dorgu transfer. Manchester United close in on signing Lecce defender in deal worth £30 million. Manchester United are closing on signing Patrick Dorgu from Lecce in a deal worth in the region of £30 million. The 20-year-old left wing-back showed a strong desire to join United and is awaiting confirmation to fly to the UK. Dorgu has made 53 appearances for Lecce in Serie A. Manchester United are edging closer to completing a deal worth in the region of £30 million to sign Lecce defender Patrick Dorgu, with paperwork now being finalized. The left-back is waiting for the green light to fly to the UK and complete the transfer, including a medical to become Ruben Amorim's first signing as United manager. Dorgu showed a strong desire to join the club, and that made United optimistic that an agreement could be reached before deadline day. The fee agreed is understood to be £25.2 million plus £4.2 million in add-ons. As Sky Sports News reported upon Amorim's appointment, assistant left wing-back has been circled as the priority position and was the one transfer highly likely to happen in this window regardless of the club's situation. Who is Patrick Dorgu? Manchester United's interest in Patrick Dorgu highlights how quickly the young Denmark international has progressed. He only made his debut in senior football last year, but the Lecce left-back is already keen to take the next step in his career. Lecce themselves, clinging determinedly to their Serie A status for a third season in a row, identified Dorgu in FC Nordjylland's famed academy before he had even broken through. There too, at FCN, there is pride and satisfaction at the player's development. Our good scouting spotted him quite fast, Alexander Riget, their technical director, tells Sky Sports. It required Riget and the current Norwich City head coach Johannes Hoff Thorup to make the trip to Jutland to see him. It is a 5-hour drive from here. They saw something in Dorgu, just 12 years old at the time. He played 1 year up in their U13 team but was not a standout star. He was always a good player, but he developed very well a little later, at the age of 16 or 17. Before long, he was gone. His journey is a little different from many of our other players. Normally, they play 50 to 100 games and then leave for a bigger club. Is that frustrating? No, we were still a very important part of his journey. We are very happy about his situation at the moment. Napoli are set to resume talks with Manchester United over Alejandro Garnacho. The two clubs had kept their word to get back in touch at the beginning of the week and try to find a compromise. Napoli want to get an agreement in principle with the winger and his representatives, and then rely on their will to lower United's demands. Chelsea, another club following the Argentina international, have not yet shown official interest, and Garnacho is giving priority to Napoli. Sky Sports News understands United would be reluctant sellers, but are not in the financial position to turn down a sizable offer for Garnacho, and they do not want to stand in the way of him getting guaranteed game time elsewhere, which would boost his development. Ruben Amorim has ruthlessly placed Rasmus Højlund on an effective trial. Ruben Amorim puts Man Udstar on trial for the season, with rivals on red alert. Ruben Amorim is continuing to assess his Manchester United squad, with another struggling player now seeing their future at Old Trafford coming under threat if performances do not improve. Rasmus Højlund has been put on trial by an unconvinced Ruben Amorim as he struggles to live up to his £72 million price tag. Højlund arrived at United from Atalanta in the summer of 2023, but has found life in the Premier League difficult. He has scored just 7 goals in 28 games in all competitions, with the Dane finding the back of the net just twice in the Premier League. In fact, after drawing a blank in the win over Fulham on Sunday, he has now gone 8 top-flight games without a goal. Despite his lack of goals, Højlund has continued to earn regular starts. He still has another 3 years to run on his contract at Old Trafford. But it now appears that boss Amorim is preparing to move on from the 21-year-old, who is entering last chance saloon territory. According to TalkSport, Højlund has effectively been placed on trial. Amorim has been left far from convinced by the Danish international, with the striker being handed the rest of the season to prove himself. Napoli and Juventus are among the clubs now monitoring his situation. It is expected that if Højlund fails his trial and United did decide to sell, they would have to accept a significant hit on the £72 million fee they paid for him. Sunday's win at Craven Cottage was another miserable day for Højlund. He completed just 67% of his passes, had just one touch in Fulham's box, and, most damning of all, failed to have a single shot. Højlund has endured a dreadful season, scoring just 2 Premier League goals, Amorim admitted. After that poor performance that Højlund needed to step up. But the United boss did praise the young striker for his attitude despite his difficult season. He wants it really hard, and you can see it sometimes that without training, there is a disconnection. We can explain, but without training, sometimes it goes away when he should be near. Sometimes he's near when he should make a run, Amorim said. We don't have time to make this connection. We don't train these kinds of things. We just talk about these things. He has a lot to improve, like his teammates. Sometimes you have a good game, other days you cannot have a good performance. The important thing is that I see every day that he wants it really bad. He talks about that. He wants to train a little bit more in the end of trainings, and that is the best thing to improve. But as a footballer, and he's a young guy, he has to understand that sometimes you have a bad game, but you have to continue to go to the next.